So,
Absolutely.
moving to a question I forgot to ask Catherine last night. So, recently, all no, I don't know if all of the USA National Miss National Queens have had their own shoes by Mark Defang. So can you just tell me what it's like to have a shoe named after you?
It's something I certainly never thought would ever happen. And recently I have seen other systems get involved with his shoes, and I've seen them have their title holders have their own shoes. So I was like, maybe I'll end up getting one. I don't know. And then I get a call from Miss Jackie one night, and she goes, "Oh, by the way, he wants to give you your own shoe." And I'm like, "What? A shoe named after me?" And so it was just so neat because I got to go online and I got to pick out my favorite shoes from his website. And I absolutely loved the shoe I picked out. And I got to send in a photo and tell him why I loved that shoe. And it's just been so neat, especially because I've had so many friends reach out to me and say, "Oh, by the way, I bought your shoe and I love them." So it's really neat. It's awesome.
What advice would you give to the national delegates competing in July?
Wow, there's so much I could say. First of all, don't be afraid to ask questions. I think that's something that I had a hard time dealing with getting ready for the national pageant because, like I previously said, Florida doesn't have a state pageant. We all enter at large. We don't have a director that we work with. We work with Miss Jackie directly. And so for me, I think one of the most important things I needed to do was not be afraid to ask questions and reach out to the current national title holders, reach out to other sister queens in your state, other sister queens across the country, and just ask them, what do you think about this? Or do you like this outfit? Or anything. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And most importantly, have fun with your title and don't be afraid to be yourself.
That's great advice. So, we're moving on to our Facebook questions. So these are the same questions that I asked Catherine. It just turns out the way our schedules worked out, our interviews would be one night and then the next night. So why not use the same questions? So
Nice.
what was the best way you found to prepare for the interview? Do you recommend coaching?
Okay, so interview has always been what I've been told my strong point in competition. I naturally have a way of speaking and being comfortable with it, but I'm one to admit that I do get nervous in pageant interviews. I absolutely do because when you go into a pageant interview, you're not interviewing for just a crown and a banner, you're interviewing for a job. And with this job, there comes so many obligations to being a national title holder. So going in, I just kind of had to remind myself to remain calm. And before the pageant, preparing myself, again, I'd ask myself questions because I am my biggest critic, and I'd have my mom everywhere we went ask me questions and just throw things out at me on my bio sheet. And I'd actually have friends use the voice texting on my iPhone and send me questions that way so that I wouldn't really have time to think about it and I'd have to immediately respond with my own voice text. So that was definitely very helpful. And as far as the coaching goes, coaching's great. I think that it kind of gives you the chance to reach out to somebody you're not so familiar with and you're not so comfortable with and put yourself in that uncomfortable situation, put yourself under pressure so that you can almost have your own mock interview and feel the way you would feel in your pageant interview. So I would recommend it. I think it was great for me and it would be great for anyone else.
Okay, so the next question that I have is what is the hardest part about being a national title holder?
I'm not going to lie, being a national title holder can be very challenging at times. But again, that's because, like I said, it's a job. It's not just wearing a crown, it's not just wearing a banner. You represent an organization, and with that, you sign a contract. You have to make X amount of appearances a month. You have to do whatever Miss Jackie basically tells you. You have a job and that's what you have to stick with. So for me, it's been challenging because I am in my senior year of high school. I have been applying to colleges. I've been applying for scholarships all while while trying to maintain my sanity, maintain my social life in high school. So just try to enjoy it before I go off to college. And
Yep.
it's been definitely very hard to manage my time and find the perfect balance. And I would say that's been the most challenging part about being a national title holder for me, is finding what's the right balance between school, my social life, and my pageants, really.
Thank you for saying that it's a job, because I know I don't want to say anything negative about pageant girls, but I have noticed that there have been a few who just think, oh, it's just another crown. I get to wear a gown and I get to win crowns and everyone will love me. But it's a job. You are the representative for the organization. You stand for what the organization stands for. And thank you for saying that it's a job, because I don't think people actually realize that you're applying and you're interviewing for this position. It's not just not just the banner. Yeah. So thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. Okay, so our final question is, this brought tears to Catherine's eyes last night. So, what do you hope to accomplish or do with the time that you have left in your reign? You have about 5 months, so you have some time, but it will fly.
Yes, definitely. And it's been flying by so quickly already. There's so many things that I want to accomplish before I give up my title. It's very bittersweet to think about nationals, especially because I've worked very, very hard for this title. I've worked very hard having this title. And so to know that in 5 months I'm going to give it up to the next girl, it's one of those things where I'm ready to give it to the next girl because I know there's another girl out there who this is her dream, this is what she wants to do, and she's very deserving of it. But at the same time, I'm like, no, this is mine. I'm going to keep this for now.
Yeah.
But there's so much I want to do. Just continue spreading my platform. I can't wait to go to New York City and get to meet all of the delegates and talk at forums. So I hope everyone formulates their questions by then and has them for me, because that's one of the things I really want to do within the next 5 months, is just be there for the delegates, be there for the next USA national team, and overall just be as helpful as I can and making an impact in my community.
That is amazing, and I wish you the best of luck with the rest of your reign. And I thank you for taking your time out to talk with me and let me interview you, for letting everyone know who you are and that you are open to questions. So people, please ask her questions. Please ask any of the National Queens questions. And so with that, I bid you a fond farewell, and I will say goodbye to everyone else who's watching these. So thank you for talking with me. Thank you guys for watching.
Problem.
Yeah, thank you.